Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! You know what, guys? I've tried to watch reaction videos of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires ever since the movie premiered last month, and I tried to get into it, but I just couldn't, because it wasn't really providing me with the commentary and the analogies of Descendants of Zombies that you guys have come to know me for. I love providing you with commentaries because it helps you break down and make sense of the movies you love so much. And because I love these franchises just as much as each and every one of you, and I think about you watching the video and what you want to get the most out of watching your videos on YouTube for, I just want to do the best I can to create great videos for you guys. I don't want to take away any credibility from Milo Manheim and Meg Donnelly, who have put their hearts into this franchise, who believe in it so much because it gave them their chance, their breakout roles. And people just criticize it all the time. If they're not uploading stupid reaction videos, they're criticizing it for their shows on YouTube, and it's not even a commentary. So I've just been always wanting to support Descendants of Zombies in the way it was meant to be supported, to show it the love it deserves. And I just wish more YouTube creators would approach their videos with the same incentive. I really do. Because this summer was the greatest summer of my life. So many things happened for the history of Descendants of Zombies that will never be forgotten. The premiere of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, which I was a part of. And I felt so honored to be a part of it, watching the movie for the very first time with you guys. It was the greatest honor of my life, and I thought it was the best zombies movie that I had ever seen. It really helped me put my life into perspective, made me think of how I wanted to go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. And with 2,800 subscribers, as the count continues to grow on this YouTube channel and the love and support continues to come in for me, I know I will go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. How and when that will happen, I really don't know. But I know it will happen because of each and every one of you, because you saw a hero in me, obviously, and you made me your voice of Descendants of Zombies, which is something I didn't intend to be. I just wanted to show the respect to the franchises that it deserved, and from what I've been seeing on YouTube, I am one of the only guys that does show it the respect it deserves, because it's come so far. That's the thing. And we all see ourselves through the eyes of our favorite characters, no matter if it was Zed, no matter if it was Addison, no matter if it was Chloe, no matter if it was Red, no matter if it was Bridget. We saw ourselves through the eyes of a favorite character that we had, that we idolized, that we thought of ourselves in the same position of, like Bridget when she was bullied in Descendants. I mean, there are countless people who are bullied every single day in high school, and my heart goes out to everybody, but I think Bridget really shed light on how far kindness can really go in this lifetime. I think Addison's character was a beautiful representation of just how far someone's dream can take somebody, even if it meant falling in love with a zombie and finding true love in that kind of fashion. I really love the story of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires because the whole story of the zombies got better. But people just, I think, try to take away the credibility of it because it has a lot to do with jealousy about how the success of Zombies is really overwhelming, because it really is overwhelming when you think about a franchise that nobody knew anything about, coming from out of nowhere, right in the middle of when Descendants was in the heights of its popularity, and everybody started comparing it to Descendants, which movie was better, what moments stood out more to you, what did you love about the movie, what did you hate about the movie. I didn't want to perceive it that way. I wanted to talk about it for what it was worth and the true value behind Descendants of Zombies and the messages. And I like to believe that I did that some way or somehow by telling you stories about my personal life that kind of reminded me of Zombies and Descendants, because I had so many experiences in my lifetime. I was always a fan of supernatural TV shows and alien documentaries about abductions and, getting beamed up and all kinds of things. I remember watching Star Trek and being a huge fan of Star Wars when I was a child. So this kind of stuff was really fun to me. So when I saw the introduction of aliens, which I thought wouldn't have happened before we saw the introduction of vampires, which would have made perfect sense if they would have had, vampires by Zombies 3, and then by Zombies 4 left the alien arrival up until that point, because it would have opened up the door for more storylines to have been created. I was always a fan of this stuff, so it's really cool for me to have the honor to sit here and talk about Descendants of Zombies for each and every one of you. I mean, who hasn't, between the ages of 8 and 15 years old, tried to get abducted by aliens? At least once in your life, you have tried to get abducted by aliens. And if you tell me you haven't, you're pretty much lying. And for those of you who are interested in this story that I've been following, apparently, yes, there is an alien probe on the way to Earth to kill us all. I can confirm that reportedly it will be here on Earth in less than 100 days. So if we are all going to die, hopefully they will shoot that beam from the UFO directly at all these critics on YouTube, and we wanted to put up with them anymore. And hopefully they'll keep my show alive. Hopefully they'll leave my section of the planet untouched, so I can provide you with great commentaries about Descendants of Zombies. So I just want to send a special shout out to the alien probe, if they're watching this video tonight somewhere out there in the galaxy, the very distant galaxy, that if you're coming to Earth to kill us all, please take out all these critics first, because you guys deserve a lot better when it comes to Descendants of Zombies reviews. You really do. These reaction videos are pointless. They don't really serve any purpose to the franchise. It doesn't really give any meaning to the franchise, and I just want to, shed the spotlight on the stars who deserve it, because I know for a fact that Meg Donnelly thinks so much over Zombies and Descendants. She thinks very highly over Descendants and Zombies. She even said she loved Descendants, and she thought so much over Zombies because, of course, Zombies was her first breakout role, and that's how we got introduced to Meg Donnelly, and that's how we followed her on other projects she was a part of, like American Housewife and The Winchesters. That's where she met her relationship, her partner, of course, Drake Rogers. Hopefully he's treating her nice, because I have this thing where girls aren't really treated fairly by their guy relationships in Disney, and that's pretty much what I became famous for overnight, was how I took Dove Cameron's side in the whole Ryan McCartan situation from 2016, and how he was treating Dove Cameron, how he wanted everything that seemed so perfect, and seemingly overnight I became famous on YouTube for really letting Ryan have it. The thing is, I really do believe in these franchises, and I do think there is a chance that they could last for forever, especially off the expansions we have seen recently with Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, and Descendants 5. I mean, whoever thought we'd get to 5 movies for Descendants? I know it's a real, twist on the franchise, having a new cast and what have you, seeing Ruby Rose Turner come in and make her exit so suddenly out of the franchise. But the thing is, there is so much of a chance to create new storylines with these franchises. I don't know why people always want to shut the door on Descendants and Zombies ever happening, people wishing it would go away. I really want these franchises to last for forever. I really do, because I know how much they mean to each and every one of you. And I've always wanted to be a part of it. I've always wanted to be the writer and producer and director of this kind of thing. So if you guys could hit the subscribe button and help me get in on the franchises that have meant so much to you guys, I would really love to be a part of it, because I really do see the potential in these franchises, and I really do see myself in some of these situations, like that final scene in Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, when, of course, Zed looked at Addison and he said all he wanted to do was spend the rest of his life with her, and she agreed, and they got the opportunity to do that. I remember reading the plot and how it was supposed to unfold before I ever watched Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, because I have this thing where I always want to get a sneak peek at what's going to happen. And I was really happy when it was revealed that they were going to get to spend the rest of their lives together, because I didn't want to see any confliction that would tear them apart. I really believe that they were Disney's new power couple of this new generation, and if there was a couple that represented the new Disney Channel revolution, it was definitely Zed and Addison for what they brought to the movies and really how they brought it to life, because I don't think anyone would have ever believed in the franchises as much as what Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim have. And I got that from a lot of the TikTok live videos that I used to watch of them doing Q&As with fans online for up to 45 minutes. They would answer questions people had about zombies and the whole experience of shooting the movie in Toronto, which is a beautiful place, by the way. It is a really beautiful place. The people in Toronto are very obliging, and the people in New Zealand are equally just as obliging. They're just so happy to be a part of whatever they're a part of. I remember how they used to shoot Zombies and Descendants in the nighttime in Toronto, New Zealand, and they had so much fun doing it. It looks so fun shooting these scenes in the nighttime. I just want to put that out there. And if they're looking for a guy to kick a whole lot of ass in the Zombies franchise, Jonathan Clarke is always and forever ready to go to really touch your hearts by bringing zombies to life, because I've always wanted to shoot a lot of scenes in the nighttime. I've seen it done before. It looks really fun, and there's just something about wanting to drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole. That's one of my bucket list items. I've always wanted to do that, drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole that has been closed for hundreds of years. So if you could hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, make me realize my dreams before I die about Descendants of Zombies, I would really appreciate it, because there's just something about encountering a vortex on all my boating excursions that I would love the opportunity to do. And I've been involved in some frightening experiences at sea, to the point where whales have come up and almost knocked the boat over, to being in frightening sea storms. I've seen and done it all. I've been through it all in my lifetime, but I have never encountered a vortex. And believe you me, if I had ever encountered a vortex, I would be the first one to tell you guys what it was like. And if I could have jumped inside of this vortex for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, I would have taken myself up on the opportunity to do that, because I really do believe there is so much potential of what could exist inside of a vortex. Even if it isn't mermaids, it'll be something significant, and it'll be something very powerful that will threaten Seabrook's very existence, which will cause all the supernatural forces that have already seen their introductions into the Zombies franchise to band together to take on Seabrook's greatest threat. But I haven't closed the book yet on mermaids showing up in Zombies, because I have a greater appreciation for mermaids. I think they are beautiful creatures. They are incredibly intelligent, and I think they can really bring a lot to the Zombies franchise. And yeah, the secret is out. I've read a lot of stories about mermaids in my lifetime. I can remember reading one of my very first books when I was a child on a mermaid, and I've been reading mermaid tales for at least 25 years of my 39 years that I've been alive, and that is no exaggeration. I just love reading stories about magic. I love reading stories about mermaids and supernatural creatures, because it really just there's just something about mystery and having so many unanswered questions that I can never seem to get enough of. So after being a huge fan of TV shows like The Vampire Diaries and successful franchises like Twilight, and seeing the rapid ascension to superstardom, I think this is perfect. This was a perfect move for Disney to make, especially off the popularity of Descendants and its success. They wanted something just as special, and they found it in Zombies, and I give the writers and producers a profound amount of credit for having done that, because I draw a lot of inspiration from the past Zombies movies for a lot of my videos on YouTube, and I've noticed that a lot of my videos on YouTube more recently have been getting a lot of great reviews because of how I've been feeling about Zombies, and how I've been expressing my opinion on how you guys have deserved better in the way of reviews about Descendants and Zombies. So I can only hope that these videos are very different from the videos that you find about Descendants and Zombies on YouTube every night, and you will take a chance on me and hit my subscribe button, because as I've said many times, one of the greatest challenges as a YouTube creator over and time again is convincing somebody to hit your subscribe button because he or she loves your videos. And I know I tell you a lot of crazy stories about how my friend wanted to be an indie rocker with himself and his band, becoming famous and the greatest rock stars of all time. How I had actually a couple of friends who wanted to be involved in the music industry by creating indie bands based off Kiss, because they drew inspiration from bands like Gene Simmons and Kiss, which was really crazy. I know that sounds really crazy. I don't know if I'd ever go that far with it, but I told you stories about how I've had friends involved in the music industry who wanted to go down in history for being the greatest of all time. I've told you stories about how I thought I lived with a werewolf and contemplated shooting him in the nighttime between 12 and 1 a.m. every night when he would howl at the moon. How I thought my girlfriend was a vampire and my next door neighbors were vampires. But I tell you these stories because it's a very different perception, a very different take on the Zombies franchise, because while people can't decipher what is a daywalker and a nightwalker and the difference between them, and how the Moonstone created zombies and werewolves and eventually aliens and now vampires, two different groups, and what has yet to be revealed in Zombies 5, I just want to have fun with it, and I want you guys to have a whole lot of fun with it, because I don't want these stories to ever end. I don't want this to ever be over, because Descendants of Zombies gave me a second chance to be heard, a second chance to be seen by so many incredible people, and so many incredible people who actually loved my videos and had a greater appreciation for Jonathan Clarke's opinion about everything Disney and everything Nickelodeon, and eventually Descendants of Zombies, because all roads have led me to talking about Descendants of Zombies. It was almost as if it was my true calling. It was a niche that I was supposed to fall into, I was supposed to be incredibly supportive of, and even if that means having to create hundreds of Descendants of Zombies videos every day for the rest of my life, I see no issues with that, because nobody else does this for you guys. Question: how many people on YouTube actually provide you with commentaries on how beautiful Addison is, or how unbelievable Meg Donnelly's character was in Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, or how Milo Manheim's character Zed really inspired, thousands and millions of people? Nobody provides you with commentaries like that. Nobody's ever going to. Because the reality of it is, they're just getting paid to sit behind their camera and review a movie by watching it. And they probably never watched it before in their life. Well, they say they've never watched it before in their life, because you see them on Disney Plus uploading the movie before they ever review it. So the thing is, these commentaries are very different, because I've seen Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires 100 times over. I've seen Descendants: The Rise of Red 100 times over. So if there's one guy on YouTube who doesn't have to watch his videos before he does a reaction video, it's this guy, because I have a greater appreciation for Descendants and Zombies than all of them. If there are 500,000 people uploading Descendants and Zombies reaction videos on YouTube, I'm the one guy who doesn't have to watch a reaction video for the first time, because I've already done it. Because I know what it's like to be each and every one of you and be excited for a premiere. to get the most out of your viewing experience on YouTube. And I like to believe that I bring these videos to life in such a way that no other YouTube creator ever does. I mean, how many YouTube creators out there do you actually get to know because they talk to you about how they feel about Descendants of Zombies for the last decade? Nobody does that for you guys. They just upload a reaction video, and they literally just jump right into the reaction video with no introduction on what they're going to do. It's so pointless. And that's why I'm so supportive of each and every single person who has ever hit the subscribe button on this YouTube channel, because I know this YouTube channel wouldn't even exist if not for everybody who ever hit the subscribe button here. Thank you guys so much for showing your love and support for Zombies and Descendants, and really showing up on this YouTube channel and taking a chance on me for every single time that you hit the subscribe button. I just got 2,800 subscribers today, over 57,000 hours of watch time, and you can see why. Because my heart is really into Descendants of Zombies. I really do believe in the franchises, and believe you me, if I would have had the opportunity to attend the Worlds Collide Tour, I would have taken myself up on the opportunity to watch it and be a part of it. I would have loved to have been in the crowd just to see your guys' reactions and just to watch you guys having fun, because that's what you deserve, to have fun. That was your intent. And no YouTube creator out there or no critic out there deserves to take that away from you. If you want to go to the Worlds Collide Tour with the remaining tour dates that we have, we probably have about 5 shows left this summer. But if you want to go to the Worlds Collide Tour, if you're going to any of the shows that have left to be seen, I want you to have fun, and I want you to say nothing but things about the tour, and I want you to remember this time, because it's going to be a time that you're never ever going to forget. I want you to have the greatest time of your life with your friends, if you're going with your family, and that's all I ever wanted for you guys. That was the purpose behind these videos, was to create videos that were fun, that were very informative, that were funny, that were educational, that were everything all in the one, so that even if the stars saw these videos, they knew it was okay to watch themselves on YouTube, because there was actually a guy on YouTube that had a greater appreciation for them, that really did love them, that really did believe in their message of how kindness really does go further in this lifetime. And it really does go further in this lifetime, because I gave Meg Donnelly a profound amount of credit for having to deal with everything in her personal life, juggling her personal life and her battles with anxiety and her fear of necrophobia, because I battled with that when I was 13 years old. There was no way I could get away from it. I could never escape the thought of death. I could never escape the thought of dead things, until one day I got to a point in my lifetime where it entered my mind that one day we all have to die, and what do we leave behind after we die? We leave behind a legacy. And all I've ever wanted to have a legacy for is ensuring the legacies of your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time, myself included. And I like to believe some way or somehow I've done that, because now people like Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker are back on TikTok. They are TikToking themselves. They are YouTubing themselves again. Because there's a guy on YouTube that actually sees the appreciation and the value with Descendants of Zombies, because there's a certain pride that goes with talking about Descendants of Zombies on your podcast. And if you don't show up with that certain pride or passion that exists for Descendants of Zombies fans, and you don't understand what your fans want to get the most out of from watching their videos on YouTube when they have the time, then there's really no purpose of you ever creating a Descendants of Zombies video, because your purpose is defeated. I really do believe in the chances of mermaids happening for zombies. I never thought we'd get to the point where we'd see mermaids see their introduction into a franchise where you would think they didn't belong or had no place. But the more that I think about it, after everything we've seen in the Zombies franchise and everything we've seen in the Vampire Diaries and the Twilight Saga from years past, I would go for it. I really would. And that, even if I have to make 100 videos about mermaids and my theories and predictions on them, I see no issues with that, because I, for one, have always wanted to go out on a boating excursion and capture a mermaid and fall in love with her. I really have, because I really do believe that mermaids are beautiful and they are innocent creatures. And I think a lot of great storylines could be created off of this. I think a lot of things could happen from, ghost ships showing up in the movie. I think pirates would add a lot of confliction to it. A lot of great storylines could be created from that point of view. So we still have a long way to go. And so I don't buy into how people are believing the franchises see their dramatic conclusions. I love how they throw in dramatic when they're referring to the conclusion of the Descendants of Zombies, saying this should happen and that should happen and this shouldn't happen and that shouldn't happen. I think everything should happen in Descendants of Zombies before we see the dramatic conclusion of these franchises. And by the time this video uploads at midnight, I want you guys to know, while I'm out of my vampire hunting ship keeping you safe, that I really do love talking about Descendants of Zombies, and if in fact I do escape vampire infection tonight and don't get a cut on my hand like I did a couple of weeks ago, if you throw yourself back to a couple of weeks ago, I came in through my window and just after I got off my shift I had this really nasty cut on my hand. I will be back tomorrow morning to say more about Descendants of Zombies because I'm incredibly excited about the next year, and I look forward to creating great videos for you all throughout 2026 about Descendants of Zombies for the remainder of this year, all throughout 2026, because we don't stop on this YouTube channel. We go right on through, which means we'll be here Halloween, we'll be here Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Chinese New Year, 365 days a year. Because you guys have been crying out for a Descendants of Zombies podcast. You wanted that more than anything else in the world. Well, now you've got it. It may have took a girl showing up at my door every year on Halloween for at least 5 years before she convinced me to create a Descendants of Zombies show, running off with her bag full of Halloween treats, saying, at least think about creating a Descendants of Zombies show for the fans of Descendants of Zombies because they will love you for forever. I have no idea where she is out there in the world tonight, but I want her to know that she got what she wanted. She touched my heart in so many unbelievable ways when I was at my lowest point, brought me back from seemingly out of obscurity, like all of you guys did, and she's got her Descendants of Zombies podcast, which I hope wherever she is out in the world tonight, she is watching it, and I hope she has the same appreciation that you guys have for this show by how many times you hit the like button and how many times you hit the subscribe button. You see, the thing about being a host of a YouTube show is you don't really shoot for 50,000 likes and 50,000 subscribers. The key is, if you get even one like for a video that you upload, that's a sign that somebody out there, even if it's just one person, by hitting the like button or subscribing to your channel, loves your video. And the thing is, as the host of the show, you have to be very appreciative of that because that one person didn't have to hit the like button or didn't have to subscribe to your channel. I had one subscriber today, and that put me up to 2,800 subscribers, and you have no idea how much that means to me. Nobody out there knows how much it means to me when somebody just simply hits the like button because it says, Jonathan, I love your videos. Keep doing the great job you're doing, talking about Descendants of Zombies, and that shows incentive. That gives me motivation to keep on creating these videos for each and every one of you because I want you to know that as long as I have a heartbeat, you guys will always have Descendants of Zombies videos that see the value in Descendants of Zombies and forever and always have. Because I remember when Descendants premiered in 2015, I knew it had something special. I knew it was going to be something special. It was going to create so many beautiful moments that we forever and always cherish, that we'll be talking about a decade from when Descendants first premiered. And by Descendants 2, the music got better. The story was so captivating. It touched my heart in so many unbelievable ways. I can't even begin to put into words how Descendants makes me feel because I've watched every single movie, every single chapter, every single episode of Descendants live action and animated. The Royal Wedding was also a beautiful teasing for the setup for Descendants 4, The Rise of Red, and the introduction of the Alice in Wonderland characters, which I can never seem to get enough of. And by the way, I'm really looking forward to the story of Descendants 5, Book of Wonderland next summer because, of course, Red's going to have a sister. One of the consequences of time travel will meet Pink for the first time ever, and with all the rumors surrounding the introduction of this character and what could happen, I am incredibly excited for the future of Descendants of Zombies. I really am. I can't put it any other way to you guys. I don't know how the other critics out there feel about it, but I'm ready to go. I really am. And Zombies 5 is going to be so unpredictable. Even if it is 4 years from now until Zombies 5 happens, I'm really excited about it because Zombies 5 will just create storyline after storyline after storyline and really help us put our lives into perspective. I think Zombies really represented acceptance, represented a second chance, and really represented hope because you think about how Zed and Addison wanted nothing more than to spend the rest of their lives together. I mean, who out there doesn't want to spend the rest of their life with somebody they love and forever and always have held close to their heart? I think if you have one special friend in your lifetime, you're going to have to forgive me because I'm a real sweetheart, but I think that if you have one really special friend in your lifetime and you hold them close forever and always, they'll be the one special friend that you'll hold on to for the rest of your life, and you've got something to be incredibly thankful for because that's of extreme rarity. And because the thing about time is time always runs out. Time doesn't last forever. So with the time that we are allocated, it's all about how we spend it. We can spend it with the ones we love, our friends. We can spend it fixing the mistakes that we believe we've made to become better people. But however we spend our time, the thing about time is it's so precious because it runs out. And I just wish more people would realize that, because that's the message behind Descendants and Zombies. It's about acceptance. It's about being a hero. It's about finding the one that you will love forever and always and sticking with that person. That is something that really stands out to me about Descendants, and that makes it the most powerful and the most revered franchise in Disney history, really. Far more revered than High School Musical or Hannah Montana ever was. And I really do believe that we still have a long way to go with this franchise, because this franchise is far from over. I hope that nobody buys into what the critics are saying on YouTube about how the franchise needs to end and have a dramatic conclusion because this doesn't need to happen or that doesn't need to happen. I'm at the point in my life where I'll go for anything happening in Zombies, even if it means I have to be the writer and producer of this thing and the director. I'll be everything all in the one. I'll be an action hero, I'll be a writer, a producer, a director, because I think you guys need to get the most out of your experience watching Descendants of Zombies. And you're going to have to forgive me because I just wanted to be the guy to forever and always give that to you. And that's why I hope you're going to find time in hitting my subscribe and my like button, because I know you love Descendants of Zombies. I know how much the franchise means to you. And because I know how much the franchise means to you, that's why you'll always and forever have me. While Dove Cameron and other Descendants stars will come and go and take their ball and go home, I know for certain, whatever the future has in store, regardless of what the future has in store for all of us, we're in this together. And you guys will forever and always have me as your voice of Descendants and Zombies, and I couldn't be more proud to be here with you tonight. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel. We will do this again in just a few hours from now, but until we speak again, keep kindness in your heart, as I will keep you in mind forever and always, and just know that wherever it is out there in the world, you will find your light. How you'll find your light remains to be seen, but trust in what I'm telling you. You will find your light, because everybody deserves to find their light, and everybody does eventually find it, because dreams can become a reality and can happen for you. All you've got to do is hold on to them and trust in your heart, because your heart really is your best friend. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to help this YouTube channel out, to help creating great videos for you guys, which is really an honor. It's an honor for me to be in your presence talking about Descendants of Zombies. I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you guys so much. I love you dearly. We will talk again in just a few hours from now, because all we've really got to do, all that remains to be done, is for us to stay calm and zombie on.